Oh, it's been a long, strange trip for these Boulder Collegians, and welcome into Boulder, Colorado, hosting the Grateful Dead tonight and hosting the Boulder Collegians and Colorado Sox. It's a doubleheader for your Boulder Collegians. We've got the Game Day Saints next. I'm joined by Ethan Jordan in the broadcast booth. I am Jake Shapiro, and it is a wonderful atmosphere both for the Deadheads and the Seamheads.
Yeah, it's pretty much a citywide holiday weekend here in Boulder, and not because of the 4th of July. I mean, I was down on Pearl Street on the 4th, actually, and the concentration of Deadhead memorabilia and apparel was astounding.
Oh, I was late last night to the event I was going to because I couldn't get out of my own house because there was a parade of Deadheads.
I was late to this game because of that.
Anyway, we've got Paschke at the bat for the Sox leading off. This is an important game for the Collegians as they look to advance up the standings. They're 14-14 on the year, 11-10 in league play, 4 games out of first place, but only a half game back of the Game Day Saints, who they have next, I believe, right?
That's right, there.
Yeah, and they've got them in third place right now. So Collegians with 2 opportunities today to move up the standings and get into third place.
Actually, the Collegians are tied with the Saints because these standings online have not been updated yet. They beat the Saints yesterday. They defeated them in game 1 of a doubleheader. The second game was rained out, so it's going to be played because the game should have counted. It went more than 5 innings. It counted, so they beat the Saints yesterday and moved ahead of them into third place because they were a half game back. And then they'll play them again, that second game scheduled to come after this game against the Sox.
Do want to tell you about today's starting pitcher is he's ahead 0-2. That's Jackson Hewlett, the right-hander, who has been largely the most consistent player for the Boulder Collegians on the pitching side this summer.
Hewlett's really been the horse for them. Whenever they've needed a win, they put him on the hill, as they do here.
1-2 misses just a little bit wide. Hewlett on the summer thus far. His ERA over the 19 2/3 innings pitched is 3.6. So he has been solid, and he starts this game off with a strikeout.
Yeah, Jackson, probably his biggest start of the season came in his last one against Fort Collins, which he was able to secure that game for the Collegians up north, and it resulted in him getting an at-bat in the next game in which he struck out. But we don't need to talk about that. But he was terrific against the Foxes and starts out well here against these Sox.
Here's Cody Schultz with a blooper towards the right side, and Chris Amador is going to chase that down from his position out in center field. 2 quick outs for the Collegians in the top half of the first. That'll bring up Walsh. Playing second base today, Walsh. Zach Walsh, right-handed batter. First pitch, it's inside from Jackson. Right back on the mound. His demeanor is that of a very fast pitcher in command of the game as he deals a strike at the lower portion of the zone. Already hearing some chatter from Dick Orcutt, the legendary Colorado Sox manager, in the first base dugout. The home plate umpire not happy, telling him to quiet down already. Rarely see that this early into a ball game. That ball fouled out, and Jackson has a chance for his second strikeout of the first inning. 1-2 pitch on Walsh, 2 outs. Looking for a quick inning to start the game. It's grounded over the left side, taken by Kix Farrell, and then bobbled. So it'll be E5, allowing the first base runner of the game for the Sox.
Yeah, Kix getting some playing time over at third base. He's largely been a second baseman for these Collegians, so shifting back over that way. He's a natural shortstop, but in his college during the regular season, he's played shortstop and third base. And he said this was his first season really playing second base at all. But he's done a nice job over there. A little trouble at third, though, on that last play.
Jackson's first pitch here. It's a bit high on the batter Garner, playing center field today. Tanner Garner watches in as Jackson gets into his set position, deals a fastball that's a bit too high. So far hasn't been able to get that fastball down out of the set position. It's a common problem with guys working out of the stretch, and this level of baseball is sometimes their arm doesn't go as fast as their lower half. 2-0. Curveball, that's front door, and that's a strike.
Yeah, Hewlett, the mechanic he really focuses on is when he plants that lead leg, that step leg on his delivery, he really tries to lean into that leg in order to catch the body up with the feet.
2-1. Fastball called, strike on the outside. So a chance for about a, 12, 13 pitch inning for Jackson Hewlett, working around this error. First batter was a strikeout, then a fly out to center field. E5 allowing the man on first right now. Jackson's 2-2 with 2 outs. Fastball, no good. Back pick by Jimenez, and not in time. Will do a full count pitch.
You were giving Hewlett's totals earlier, Jake. Add on to those a 9-inning, 1-run allowed performance against Fort Collins, the one I was talking to earlier. It's not in the official game changer as he strikes out the batter here to end the inning.
So a check swing, not able to hold there was Garner, and that's out number 5 according to our scoreboard, but really just number 3. We go to the bottom half of the first. Jackson with a good inning here in the top half, and it is scoreless. Back here for the bottom half of the first inning, it's Ethan Jordan and Jake Shapiro on the call. Garrett Tisdall on the mound for the Colorado Sox as Hunter Hudson leads off for the Boulder Collegians, DHing today, normal catcher and first baseman. Hunter's been hitting the hell out of the ball most of the summer.
Yeah, that's right. First time we've seen him in the leadoff position, though. This is a bit of an odd place to locate him in the lineup. Not typically you think of your leadoff guy as one of the faster guys on the team, but Hunter, one of the slower guys on this Collegians team. That doesn't really mean anything because everyone on this team can run. But he has been getting on base, and that's why they have him at the top of the lineup with Brennan Roselle not in his first game lineup.
1-0 from Tisdall, and Hudson check swings, can't hold up on a fastball that got the high outside corner. Collegians in these beautiful light blue uniforms that they commonly wear, the Sox in red. Makes it really easy for me to score. I like to score in red and blue pen. It's like a game of Tron is going on my desk, and it's like a game of Tron is going on out on the baseball field. Is it a game of Tron or is Tron life? I've never actually seen Tron.
Neither have I.
Okay. Well, we're off to a roaring start here at the foot of the Flatirons. 1-2 count on Hunter Hudson.
Yeah, weird not to see Roselle in that leadoff spot. He's hit leadoff, I want to say, in like 10 straight games, it seems.
Ball watch there by Hudson. Roselle not in the lineup today. Connor Costeca will be batting second. Then Jimenez, Davis, Arrivo, Richardson, Amador, Farrell, and Cowart rounds out the Collegians' 9. 2-2. And the ball is sprayed into left field. That'll get down in front of Cox for a leadoff single by Hunter Hudson.
So Hudson filling in nicely for Roselle. Roselle reaching base at a 500 clip this season. Hudson able to get on here. I think we'll probably see Rosie in the second game lineup, but getting the game off here.
Batting with the Collegians, the shortstop, number 2, Connor Kostecka.
So that'll bring up the left-handed batting Connor Kostecka playing shortstop this afternoon. After the single by Hudson, Tisdale on the bump. In those stirrups, he'll face the long socks. It's the Tweener Tuesday look, even though it's Saturday for Connor Kostecka. Number 2. Number 2 in the order. Fastball outside, the first pitch here. Third baseman playing in on the grass, looking for the bunt. Infield playing for the double play, though the second baseman, Walsh, is a bit too far from the bag maybe to make that turn. Doesn't know how fast Hunter Hudson is. Although he is batting leadoff today, so that might give them the hint. 1-0. Fastball low and just missed at the top of the shins.
Seems like this is the first time that I think this is the first time that the Collegians have seen Tisdall this year. So maybe just taking a couple pitches for both guys in order to get a read on what he's offering today.
2-0. And slap to the right side foul. It's 2-1. Tisdall, probably my favorite character from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Sweet Life on Deck never banged quite as much as The Sweet Life.
Never watched either.
What did you do with your childhood?
Good question. I went outside.
2-1 from Tisdall, and swinging and missing on 2-1, making it 2-2 is Connor Kostecka, and you hear his teammates giving him a rousing jeer after that. Swing that made him look more like a ballerina than a baseball hitter.
Kostecka has been hitting the ball well lately after getting off to a really rough start in his Collegians career. He's got the average back up to 279. He's hit 3 home runs.
That's why he's back up on top of the order. 2-2. Curveball. Ooh. Couldn't tell you where it missed, but home plate umpire says it did, and it's now 3-2.
This is what the Collegians do so well, working the count. There's one thing you look at the Collegians, you say, that's something that team does extremely well. They get into deep counts.
Runner takes off. Line drive to the right side. It's above Walsh's head. Kostecka holds it first. Striding into third is Hudson, and Collegians have first and third with no outs in the bottom of the first.
Good start ahead of Chris Jimenez here. Chris has been all through the order, but it always seems that he's alone when he comes up to the plate. Doesn't seem to have guys ahead of him when he hits those home runs. The team leader in home runs, but has 2 guys on the corners.
That'll bring up Chris Jimenez, the Collegians' leading home run hitter. Has 6 bombs on the year, 23 RBI on the year as well. Leads the team, tied with Nick Arrivo. Fake bunt attempt, it's pulled back, and Collegians steal second base in the form of Connor Kostecka. So now 2 men in scoring position for the man you want up when there are men in scoring position.
Conference on the mound here, and yeah, Jimenez had his 6th home run of the season yesterday against the Game Day Saints in that shortened first game, but the Collegians played 5, or a little more than 5, so the game counted. They beat the Saints in game 1 of what was supposed to be 2. Game 2 will be played after this one. But Chris's average had dropped a little bit the last couple of games, maybe getting back on his horse with that home run yesterday evening.
0-1 to Chris. Fastball misses high from Tisdall. It's a beautiful day in Boulder, Colorado. The sun has finally come out after a couple days of rain. Temperature this afternoon about 72 degrees as Jimenez watches a curveball that finds the strike zone.
Perhaps we'll actually get 2 games in for the first time in a while. We got rained out game 2 on Thursday, got rained out in game 2 yesterday. Maybe Saturday will prove a little more fruitious for baseball and for Grateful Dead concerts.
1-2, just missed on the outside. Jimenez with a tough take there, but it pays off. Tisdall looking in. Doesn't really have a sequence set up here on this 2-2 pitch. Needed that curveball. Look out. Jimenez fouls it back on a fastball that was right in his happy zone.
Jimenez on the year is a .333 hitter with runners in scoring position.
I mean, there's a grocery store right there. I'm happy to pay for it. I don't have any, then I don't know where any would be. I'm sorry.
So we'll do 2-2 again. Tisdall comes set. His pitch. Curveball slapped above the shortstop's head. Hudson scores. So does Kostecka, and it's a 2 RBI single for Chris Jimenez, who's got 25 RBI on the year. How about that, Chris?
Yeah, Jimenez has, by and large, been the Collegians' best hitter. Him and Nick Arrivo contending for that honor. Nick is in the on-deck circle now.
Now batting for the Collegians, the first baseman, number 25, Turner Davis.
So with Arrivo in the on-deck circle, it brings up Turner Davis.
In pinch running, or at least courtesy running at first, is Jimmy Hollinger. Davis, the big hitter. I mean, I like to call him Country Breakfast. He kind of reminds me of that old Kansas City Royal.
Yeah.
Billy Butler?
Yeah, I know who you were talking about,
Yeah.
Billy. Billy Butler had a surprisingly good career if you go back and look at the numbers.
Ball fouled out. He had a good career with the A's as well after the Royals.
Didn't he wind up on the Yankees?
I feel like every player that looked like that ended up on the Yankees at some point.
I might be thinking of someone else. I got to look this up.
Davis has 4 bombs on the year. OPS is 1,000 flat on .333 batting average.
And by the way, Billy Butler did wind up with the Yankees at the end of his
It's
career.
Chris Carter you're thinking of.
No, I'm thinking of Billy. He was on the Yankees for 32 plate appearances.
Oh, wow. How about that? Go get yourself a Billy Butler jersey of the New York Yankees. That's up there for derpiest jersey you could find. Mike Piazza Marlins jersey probably up there.
By the way, other fun fact about Billy Butler, he led the league in ground out double plays twice.
Grounded right up the middle. That's not going to be a double play there. Hollinger hustles into second. It's another hit for the Collegians. 4 straight to start the game as Turner Davis is in at first.
Yeah, this is what they needed to do. Get a big lead here against the Sox. This is a team they have struggled against this season. And, well, they're not alone as these Sox rest atop the standings here in the RMBL.
Personally, I like my socks to rest about halfway up my calf.
These ones are all the way up to the thighs. Where they stand, they're 12-3 on the season. 12-3-1, sorry.
Well, the Collegians are currently trying to rock their socks off.
Folks, give him a hand out there for grabbing that ball. Thank you, Seven.
As Nick Arrivo strides to the plate. Arrivo's had a great summer. Has cooled down a little bit lately, but still batting .368. Leads the team in plate appearances with 104. So, plenty of opportunities for him this summer. First and second, nobody out. 4 straight singles to start the ball game, and Tisdall starts with a first pitch strike.
Yeah, for Arrivo, he, along with Kelby Richardson and Brennan Roselle, are the 3 guys day after day you can expect to be in the lineup for the Collegians. I think, you know, that there's a look back to second.
Bunt down the third base side. It's going to be a tough play for Tisdale on to first and in time. So the first out of the game is a sacrifice bunt. Don't know if I like the decision there necessarily to use Nick Arrivo, one of the better Collegians hitters, to do that. But either way, you get 2 runners in scoring position for Kelby Richardson.
I think the thinking there was drag bunt and try and reach as Arrivo runs really well. As you saw, it was a close play. And if you get out, oh, well, we've got 2 runners in scoring position. If you don't, the bases are juiced. Either way, it's a good situation for the Collegians.
And nothing against Kelby Richardson, but the last thing you want is a Nick Arrivo strikeout there because Kelby has been a double play threat at times this summer.
And moving those runners ahead prevents that as well. So I don't mind the move, especially with how well Arrivo runs.
But that is out number 1 in the first. Second and third, one out, one strike on Richardson. Sprayed over to the right side. That is long gone. Home run, Kelby Richardson. It's a 3-run shot, and the Collegians go ahead 5-0 here in the bottom of the first. Big time, Kelby.
That one got out of here in a hurry. Went the other way with it. It's his second home run in his second consecutive game as he went yard against game day along with Chris Jimenez yesterday.
His 4th home run of the summer. His 21st, 22nd, and 23rd RBI as well, and that's got his batting average over 300.
And I'll tell you this about Kelby Richardson. This is a guy, when he hits one out, it gets out in a hurry. These are no long, loopy fly balls that drift out of the yard. I think all 4 of his home runs this year have been line shots like that one.
That got up, out over near the scoreboard, between the light post and the scoreboard, for those familiar with Scott Carpenter Park, between the 338 and 388 signs, so probably about 350 feet from Kelby Richardson on that shot at the bare minimum. Strike here on Chris Amador.
I'll tell you what, that one made it a lot further than that. It wound up, I think, brushing that tree back there.
I was trying to be a little fair to the Sox pitcher, who's not having a sparkling first inning.
Yeah, he got tagged on that one. Richardson really got a piece of that.
All I know is since our 2018 in-game hostess, Allison Lissaway, has showed up, the Collegians have only recorded 1 out and have scored 5 runs.
You can't argue with facts.
You should be here all the time.
2-2 the count on Amador.
Let's get a little interview, huh?
I kind of miss it.
Right back to the cage. So nobody on base for the first time for Tisdale since the leadoff guy. Not the way you want to clear the bases, though.
No.
Curveball, a bit high. That's always one of my favorite things, is the old crockety broadcaster going, yeah, that home run was a real rally killer. What do you mean it was a rally killer? It was the whole rally. Full count. And Amador having a good at-bat there, and that's fouled off again.
Chris has been hitting a little better of late as well. And been getting on base a lot lately, too, which is good news with his speed. See, he's kind of moved up a little bit in the order. He's kind of the 9-hole hitter, just stuck in at the end, but he's up in the 7-hole now.
Payoff pitch. It's placed in towards center field. Long run and a diving catch made by Tanner Gardner out in center field, coming straight on. The toughest play to make as a center fielder, and he made it.
Yeah, he was in between the slide and the full extension dive. Either way, it worked out for him. Kind of went into a slide.
I think it was a flail. He flailed his body towards it, and his glove was in the right position.
The head stayed still. I'll give him that. That's all that really matters. And catching the ball.
So Tisdall's got 2 outs now. Kicks Farrell at the plate, hoping to find some of the luscious green grass all over Scott Carpenter Park. I don't know if I've ever seen Boulder this green in my 11, 12 years here, and that's because of all the rain we've gotten. The mountains are normally a color kind of beigey, kind of yellowy, more towards the color of the black and gold of the Colorado Buffaloes. But everything here looks like it could be painted in order of the Colorado State Rams. Ground ball over the second base side and taken care of for the 3rd out. But a 3-run home run by Kelby Richardson's the highlight in the bottom of the first as the Collegians score 5. We go to the top of the second. Collegians 5, Sox nothing.
The bottom of the first. 5 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. After one complete, Collegians up 5-0.
So the Sox are back at the bat, and they need to activate those bats really quick because the Collegians scored 5 in the bottom half of the first. This is a seven-inning affair between these two teams because the Collegians are playing a doubleheader today. They've got one after this against the game day Saints. Jackson Hewlett delivers right back over towards the mound on this check swing roller, and it is taken care of by the catcher, Chris Jimenez. And the only problem there was the throw around afterwards through the Collegians infield. So out number 1 here in the top of the second.
Yeah, these Sox trying to get the bats going. This is not the guy to do that against, as Jackson Hewlett has been terrific of late, even better than overall, which is something to say. We kind of mentioned it in the first, but his last appearance was 9 innings. He went a complete game up in Fort Collins and only allowed 1 run, leading the Collegians to a 4-2 victory.
This brings up Oyervides, the right-handed hitter.
The Foxes have fallen off a little bit of late, but they're still a formidable opponent. Second in the league, 11-4 in the RMBL. Ground ball to third. Kicks Farrell, plays it, but it's foul.
So that'll be another strikeout opportunity for Jackson Hewlett. He already has 2 on the day, up 0-2 here on the 6th hitting Oyervides. Only man to reach base thus far was on an error in the top half of the first.
I'm gonna ask her. Is the new girl as good as me?
0-2. And just misses a bit high.
Jack Carlo is not qualified to answer that question.
I'm not either. 1-2.
Yeah.
And that's low.
That's not why you're not qualified to answer that question, Jack.
Yeah. 2-2. 1 out. Jackson's pitch, and it just misses a bit high. Just being a bit too fine trying to find this third strike here instead of attacking the zone, and now he's got himself into a full count. So Jackson works really quickly on the mound from the center of the rubber into the line, the payoff pitch, and it's inside. He surrenders his first walk. And that's the kind of walk that just haunts you as a pitcher. You're up 0-2, and then you lose it.
Yeah, you said it, Jake. He was just being a little too fine. And then on that 3-2 pitch, he comes with a fastball that he wanted to just pipe down the middle. He didn't want to give up the walk. And all of a sudden, you maybe miss your spot a little bit on one pitch, and you give up the walk. So you can't always just go right in on 3 and 2. It's not that simple. Have to attack on at least 2 and 2.
That's a strike from Tyler Schultz. And that's another strike there from Jackson. So ahead 0-2 again, and maybe this time he won't make that mistake that he made last time.
And after allowing that walk, would love nothing more than a double play or a strikeout. Either one would bring the confidence back on the mound.
Fouled back, so we'll do 0-2 again. Yeah. Any type of Jackson Hewlett type pitching performance right here would be fine because he gets results. I mean, any of the things he normally does, just do that here. If I'm in the dugout, I'm yelling, Jackson, you do you, baby. You do you.
Yeah.
0-2. Just misses wide. And see, there he goes again on the 0-2 pitch, just trying a bit too far to get that strike and overlocates.
Well, if you're going to throw a pitch out there, it's got to be a breaking ball. A fastball's too easy for Schultz to leave out there with no break on it.
1-2. Strike 3 as Schultz swings and misses. It's strikeout number 3 of the first 2 innings by Jackson Hewlett, and it's out number 2 in the top of the second.
And that's the kind of pitch you want to throw with 2 strikes. It wasn't in the zone, not something that Schultz could do anything with, just a little bit below the zone, but because he has to protect, he goes after it and strikes out. Perfect pitch, perfect location from Jackson Hewlett.
First pitch here misses low on McIntosh. So these Sox, they won the league title back in 2017. Were a bottom half team last year and this year they've been a bit better.
A little more than a bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Flight over to the left side. This looks like it's in foul territory. Nope, called fair. And a tough break for the Collegians as Kix Farrell ran out of the way. Connor Kostecka called him off and then overran the ball. That'll be the first hit surrendered by Jackson Hewlett, and a lame one at that.
Yeah, that you want to almost mark that as an error, but it's not. Kostecka running over, never really had a chance to make the play. So it was a fair ball, for at least from our vantage point. It appeared that it fell on the right side of that line. So good call by the umpire.
Puts Cox at the bat. Right-handed hitter with 2 outs and 2 men on. First pitch swinging and not even close on Jackson Hewlett, who tricked Cox with an off-speed pitch to start the at-bat.
And a good one at that. Tight break to that slider. Moving from the center of the plate to the outside.
0-1. Low. Back pick to second. And Kostecka can't get the tag down in time. Chris Jimenez very aggressive with that throw.
Yeah, we've seen the whole Collegians catching staff adopt the Hunter Hudson approach. Back pick to any base at any time.
I love it.
They've gotten a couple guys at second this year, at least 2.
Jackson with that long overreach as he gets into his stretch position and delivers a beauty of a fastball right on the outside, and it's 1-2. Ahead 1-2, looking for his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. The pitch. Curveball slapped into the Collegians dugout. Make a play, Eddie Toledo. He can't. What a shame. Thought he was a better player than that.
I was going to say, former All-American. The hand's got to be a little better.
he's looking at his hand like it's the hand's fault. I love it.
And rubbed up the baseball, too. You know, the ball maybe sprayed a little on him there.
Do 1-2 again with 2 outs. 2 men on for Cox. 9-hole hitter, and Jackson almost tagged him in the back. Don't want that.
Especially with 2 strikes. That's the worst time to come in and get a guy.
His name's Jackson Hewlett. You spell it with 2 L's, which is funny because Collegians, I don't know, have taken 2 L's in his plentiful of starts this year. And it's mostly because his great pitching when it comes to getting out of jams like this one. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count. And fouled back to the cage. We'll do it a second time. Number 12 at the bat. Cox. He is the left fielder. Jackson looks in. The pitch on the outside, and that'll get the runners their chance to lead off.
I think you're right, though, Jake. I think the Collegians have only lost 1 game that Jackson Hewlett has started.
Yep. McIntosh, Oyervides, the runners. First and second, respectively. They'll both get the head start. 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Grounded up to the shortstop, Kostecka, on a couple hops over to first and in time for the 3rd out of the 2nd inning. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Collegians ahead, 5-0. Back for the bottom of the second, it's Logan Cowart, the only guy who did not bat for the Collegians in that first inning. It was a great first inning, which saw 5 runs for the boys in blue as it slapped over to the second baseman. Walsh will take care of it onto 1 for the first out of the second. Collegians already with, tallying them up right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits in that first inning.
Now batting for the Collegians, the designated hitter, Hunter Hudson.
What did Kicks do to get out? I spaced on that one, Ethan.
Ground ball to second.
Thank you. So 2 straight ground balls to second. That's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to write it in my book twice.
Right.
You know, you always space out a little bit. And Hunter Hudson at the plate right now watches a ball for the first pitch of his at-bat.
Yeah, Hudson took a really nice at-bat to begin the ball game against Tisdall. Saw a number of pitches, then worked inside out and lined one the other way. This one off the glove of Tisdall, and another ground ball to second base for the second out of this inning.
So 3 straight ground outs to second base for the Collegians. So maybe Tisdall has settled in and is getting these Collegians a little bit behind.
Yeah, score that one a 1-4-3. Tisdall got some leather on it. Had he not, I think that one would have rounded up in center field for a base knock.
Kosteka singled and then stole second, came around to score last inning. Batting with 2 outs here for the Boulder 9, although they're the Boulder 10 today because they have a DH. I always don't know what to do with that, and I'm going to hate the fact when the NL gets a DH because I won't be able to say the Colorado 9 anymore, although logistically it's still 9 because there's only 9 guys on the field and only 9 spots in the batting order.
Yeah, I'd still stick with the 9. I think that works up, but it is 10.
It's 10 people playing, but only 9 people playing at once. Ground ball right up the middle again. Walsh at second base. He's not going to be able to make that play, score that a single. That was going to be a tough one, but it would have been his 4th straight play had he been able to make it.
And going back to that 9, wouldn't it be 9 anyway? It would never really be 10 because you bring in a bullpen pitcher and all of a sudden 11 have played.
True, and there's 9 innings in baseball, so, I mean, you're kind of a sport built on the number 9. And Chris Jimenez comes up to have a funky at-bat here. Runner on first is Kosteka. Slapped over to the right side. That's going to hold up for Schultz, although it is drifting, and Schultz is able to drift with it. So 3 quick outs for the Collegians around a single, and the Collegians will go into the 3rd inning with a 5-0 lead.
Back here in Boulder, Ethan Jordan alongside the indispensable Jake Shapiro for the Colorado Sox and the Boulder Collegians here on this Saturday evening. Game 1 of 2 for Boulder. They'll see the game day Saints in the second game they were supposed to play against them yesterday in Game 2 here today. Jackson Hewlett going back to work on the mound for the Collegians. Had himself a great day so far, but misses here to Zach Paschke for ball 1. Hewlett has surrendered a walk and a hit, though the hit was a bit of a tough one for him as this one misses outside. Jimenez tried to frame it, but to no avail. 2-0. Comes in for a strike. Hewlett able to work it back to 2-1.
Yeah, he did tell me.
2-1. Roped into left field. That'll fall in front of Nick Arrivo for the Sox' second hit of the day. Paschke is aboard. So the Sox get the leadoff man in general and the leadoff man of the inning on base. And Cody Schultz coming to the bat.
Was it your fault?
Technically, no.
Schultz flew out in the first. Second chance against Hewlett here.
Yeah.
Sox need a run in a bad way. They're down 5-0. Squares to bunt. Hewlett misses outside. Jimenez thought about a back pick, but Turner Davis wasn't in position. Jimenez points down and says, "Hey, man, you got to be ready for me." He's really feeling those back picks today. So 1-0. Kosteka in even with the back. Expect him to creep in a couple of steps before the pitch is delivered. 1-0. Squares to bunt again. This one misses high. So Hewlett falls behind his second consecutive batter, 2-0.
Yeah, not a good start to the third inning for Jackson after a really good first 2 innings.
Wouldn't mind a ground ball here. Going to be another bunt attempt, but he pulls it back and takes a strike. So Schultz just kind of feeling out Jackson Hewlett here. Has not offered at a bunt yet, though he's squared around 3 times.
Like a 500 team in the league, so we're like 10-8. Our pitching and defense is awful.
2-1.
So we've scored
Comes in for a strike.
amount of runs in the league, but we've also allowed by 4 runs. You come in a little bit on the bounce, just in case.
2-2 here to Schultz. Hewlett leaning in. Big 2-2 coming here. Right back up the middle. And sliding from Cowart. He can't get it. It's off his thigh into center field. He goes back out there to collect it. And everybody's aboard here as Schultz reaches first base. And Paschke to second on the hit.
And that's a really tough placed hit for the Sox, and as was the one in the first inning. There have been 3 hits. One of them was really good. 2 of them have been just frustrating because it's so within your reach and you aren't able to make the play.
Yeah, for Cowart, that was going to be a really tough play. He would have had to go Brandon Phillips on that one to get the out. Zach Walsh, the 3-hole hitter, takes ball 1. So 3 consecutive hitters falling behind for Jackson Hewlett. And both those guys have reached base. Pair of singles in the inning. 1-0 from Hewlett. To second, Cowart grabs it out of the air, bobbles for a moment, so no chance at a double play off the line drive. Don't know if he would have had one anyway had he gotten it cleanly, but it is the first out for Jackson Hewlett. So things fall to the cleanup man, Tanner Garner. Garner, this is the position you want your cleanup guy up in. Pair of runners aboard and 1 away. Garner was Hewlett's second strikeout victim of the evening back in the first. And the first pitch he sees here, he fouls away out of the batter's box. And Garner, you don't see this every day. He's a center fielder batting out of the cleanup position. We saw him in the All-Star game. He does have some pop. 0-1 is outside. So Hewlett kind of laboring a bit here in this third inning, and this is what separates the good pitchers from the great ones. When you don't have your best stuff, can you still get it done? 1-1 from Hewlett is a check swing foul ball for strike 2. Hewlett's got a sign he likes. Checks the runner and brings home the 1-2. Breaking ball. Popped in the air. Kosteka will play it out of the air. Held up long enough for both runners to return to their respective bases. And it's the second out of the inning.
You have to score that a line out to the shortstop because it would have been an infield pop-up had it been a pop-out to the shortstop because of there's guys on first and second in less than 1 out, so infield fly rule was in effect. But 2 straight really weird line pops towards the middle of the infield that have helped Jackson get towards the end of this inning.
Even the one that Schultz got the hit off of was a similar things. There's a swing and a miss from Brian Hessler at a pitch out of the zone. Hessler grounded it about 2 feet or so in front of home plate his last time up. Hewlett, chance to get out of this inning. 0-1 on the way. Fouled back to the screen. So Jackson way ahead here, 0-2. They got to go any place he wants. He's shown him 2 fastballs to begin the at-bat. We'll see if he tries to backdoor a bender against the lefty. Paschke at second, Schultz at first. 0-2 on the way. Fastball from Hewlett there, missed low and outside. Moves the count to 1-2. We'll see where he goes with it here. Maybe try and jam him inside, get another rollover like he did in the second. Hewlett's 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. What an inning on the hill for Jackson Hewlett. Allows the first 2 guys he sees on base, but then shuts the door, and the Sox do not score. Collegians lead it by 5. We're on to the bottom half of the third here from Scott Carpenter Park in Boulder. Bottom of the third inning here at Scott Carpenter Park. Terrific work on the mound from Jackson Hewlett in the top half, kept the Sox scoreless. Collegians will look to add on to their 5-0 lead here in the bottom half. Meaty part of the order. Turner Davis, the cleanup man to begin things, fouls the first pitch he sees into the bullpen for strike 1. Davis, Arrivo, and Richardson in the inning. Oh, Davis a single in the first. The last of 4 straight singles to begin the ball game for the Collegians. 0-1 to him from Tisdall. Lined into center field. That's or left center field. That's a base hit for Turner Davis. He's 2 for 2 today. That's good to see from Turner. He's been slumping average-wise a little bit lately. And he's got himself a pair of hits in this one already. Bring up Nick Arrivo. Nick tried the old drag bunt, sack bunt in the first inning, where, hey, if you get aboard, great. If you don't, it works all right for us. But he'll probably get a chance to swing it here, as there's a dog on the field, so we're going to hold off on play for a moment.
It's a black and white dog. Bark in the Park was last week. I think the dog's a little bit late. It's headed from right to left field. It's running poles currently on the warning track. Don't know. Haven't seen anything willingly run poles before. We've got a couple pictures up here. They tell you how terrible poles are, but this dog is legitimately running from pole to pole.
The question is, who's going to go get the dog? Hunter Hudson's kind of strolling out that way.
There's no exit to the field over there. The dog. Oh, now the dog's running back the other way. We're going pole to pole.
And now Eric Cox is going to try his hand at wrangling the dog, as Hudson and Nick Hall are out there into the corner with Eric Cox.
And this is a really rough position for Tisdall to be in after a tough start to the day, to have a delay here due to our furry friend. The dog is now over by the skate park. Maybe looking for a spot to relieve himself or herself. Don't know. But it has sped up, and now we've got Mark Goodman, the assistant coach. Oh, we've got the gate opening over there. Is this just a stray dog? Is this someone's dog? Do we know anything about this dog?
We know nothing about the dog.
Oh, and the dog is out of the field.
You know, hats off to Quinn Cook for thinking to open that gate.
And now the dog is running towards the fire station.
Now batting for the Collegians.
Well, okay. So the dog is off into Scott Carpenter Park. To parts unknown.
A really hairy situation for the dog.
So we're back ready for baseball here after a brief delay.
Really the dog days of summer, no doubt. Well, we were talking about 9s before and it being the number for baseball. Well, we've had a lot of 9s today, and we've now seen a K9.
That's right. 1-1 from Arrivo. To Arrivo, I should say, from Garrett Tisdall.
More like Garrett Tiz dog.
He pauses for a moment before delivering the 1-1, and it's outside and low. Had to get one in.
We'll see if he's able to bark back into this count here.
Two-1. Here to Nick Arrivo. Tisdall delivers and misses up around the chin. 3-1. We've got dog noises coming out of the speakers here at Scott Carpenter Park. The PA system getting in on the act. Turner Davis at first. He's a little huskier than Nick Arrivo. As Arrivo sends the 3-1 right to the shortstop. Grabbing it there as Paschke will go back to first. The throw coming off of Turner Davis. Let's make sure Turner's all right as he's a bit slow to get up.
Yeah, Turner went down into the downward dog there after getting hit by the ball. Not the best position to be in for Turner, but I think he's going to be okay. He was able to leash his way back into first base off of that quick line drive.
So Kelby Richardson to the bat now. Davis at first, one away. Kelby watches one high for ball one. Flown out to right field, and this one is long gone again. The same location, same result for Kelby Richardson. This time it's a 2-run shot, and someone is going to go have to fetch that ball.
A 5 RBI game for Kelby Richardson, his second home run of the game, his second home run in 3 innings, and his third home run of the last 24 hours. This guy is as hot as Boulder on a warm summer's day.
Next up for the Collegians, Chris Hamad.
Yeah, Kelby Richardson bringing some of that heat from where he resides in his school days over in Mesa, Arizona, up here to Boulder. The guy's had himself a couple of days here of late. That average is over 300 now, and he's hit 2 home runs today. Chris Amador takes ball 1. Was retired on a fine play in center field from Tanner Garner in the first. Check down to first, and they say, yes, he went around. It's 1-1. Richardson, since June 24th, has raised his batting average 70 points or more. He's been on some kind of streak. This one fouled away by Amador. We always knew he could hit. He just started off his Collegians career a little bit slow. Struggled with the at-bat. I remember he went a few games before even recording his first hit. And then, of late, he's been on a tear. Strike 3 called on Chris Amador. He's retired on 4 pitches. That brings up Kix Farrell.
Chris was shown the Amador just like that pooch.
Now batting batting with the Collegians, the third baseman, Kit Snyder.
First pitch to Farrell, and the Texas native leaves it outside for ball 1. 1-0. Ground ball, and okay. The man on the mound, Tisdall, tried to grab it with the bare hand. Throw from the shortstop goes over the head of the first baseman, Kessler. All kinds of wild things going on that play, as Farrell will move up to second, the ball out of the field of play.
Paschke just almost made the play of his life, but he didn't.
Tisdall was about an inch or so from either making the play of his life or breaking his hand. He tried to bare hand that one, and Paschke nearly made the play, but overthrew it. So credit Farrell with an infield hit, and then the error allowing him to reach second base. Logan Cowart, the 9-hole man, trying to drive in the Collegians' 8th run of the ball game, with 2 away and a runner at second. Cowart fouls one back our way. It's 0-1. Cowart takes the 0-1 for strike 2. Right back up the middle, and this time Tisdall snags it with the glove hand and retires the side. Logan Cowart with a shot back up the middle, but nothing to show for it. However, Kelby Richardson sends his second home run of the day over that right field fence. Collegians lead at 7-0. 4th inning up and coming here in Boulder.
After 3 complete, Collegians up 7-0.
Back for the 4th inning, it's Woyer-Vides in the plate for the Colorado Sox, who trail 7-0 as Jackson Hewlett's back out for his 4th inning of work. This is a 7-inning affair, so the Collegians are creeping towards that run rule marker, meaning this is an important inning for those Sox.
That run rule being 10 after 5. We saw them reach that a couple of days ago against the Colorado Rough Riders.
Jackson working out of the windup where he is most successful, his 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 as he gets Woyer-Vides to swing through that one. It's Jackson Hewlett's 5th strikeout of the night as he is really buckled down and dealt.
Yeah, only one of those strikeouts looking for Jackson, so he is just getting guys to swing and miss at pitches. I'd be curious to see what his swing and miss rate is tonight because it's pretty high.
Strike one on the outside on Schultz. Struck out his first time on 4 pitches, all of them strikes. You say, how did he do that? It was a foul ball. That's the first time he's ever done anything productive against Jackson Hewlett right there as he watches a ball. 1-1 from Jackson, dealing really quick. Curveball called, strike 2. So already looking for a half dozen here in the top of the 4th. The 1-2 pitch. And it's fouled off towards the right side.
I really like how Jackson has used his curveball and slider today. He's used them selectively. We've seen far too many Collegians pitchers this year using that as a kind of a get-me-over pitch. This is the pitch I always want to throw on 0-2 or when I need a strike. Hewlett has used it in selective spots, so the guys really haven't gotten a read on it yet.
1-2. Just misses wide, and he's done that a couple times. He overthrows that fastball looking for strike 3 and misses away. He's going to have another opportunity here. 2-2. And that's a 6-pack. 6 strikeouts for Jackson Hewlett. Here in the top of the 4th, he's got 2 outs. He's been the Collegians' ace all summer, and he is mowing down the Colorado Sox down to little ankle booties. You didn't like that?
I didn't know what to do with it. It wasn't that I didn't like it. I was just surprised. How about that?
And when your parents work in shoes for 30 years, you know a lot about feet.
Ankle booties.
Well, yeah, little small socks. 0-1. And that misses away. McIntosh at the bat. I was wearing those the other day. A little summer look. Hidden socks.
Oh, okay, like the hidden socks like you
Yeah.
wear with, like girls wear with flats? Is
Yeah.
that what we're talking about? Okay.
Or I wear with my Tigers. Yeah, the no-show socks.
Those are called ankle booties?
Speaking of no-show socks, the Sox hoping not to no-show in this inning. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning. 1-2 with 2 outs, and it is fouled back. Might have had that wrong, but, you know, it wouldn't be the first time.
Sources say.
Hey, I've never got one of those wrong. Jackson out of the windup. 2 outs. His 1-2 pitch, looking for the 1-2-3 inning, and it's fouled back, and we'll do it again.
No matter what you're doing, you can't be having a worse time with sources say than that one fella who was reporting that there was no way Kawhi Leonard was going to go to the Lakers. Have you seen this on Twitter, Jake?
Yeah, we've all been there, man. I'm not going to take pot shots at a reporter.
Rest in peace to that guy. I mean,
He's our age, too.
yeah, I know. I feel bad for the kid. He's getting maligned by Lakers fans because Lakers fans.
Looking for his 3rd strikeout of the inning and got it on the outside. His 2nd one looking of the day, his 7th strikeout, and the Collegians lead 7-0 as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a special guest here this afternoon. Please put your hands together, making out his first ball game, Jack Gorey and the new parents, Lauren and Cameron Gorey, in the house. Put your hands together for the new parents. Leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Collegians, the designated hitter, number 11, Hunter Hudson. Get better, Rosie, get better.
Top of the order for the Boulder Collegians, it's Hunter Hudson. We've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Colorado Sox. It's a left-hander, and Hunter watches the first pitch fastball for a strike. Working on it.
Wait, who's number 7?
Looks like the pitcher is Connor Nankis on the hill for the Sox as he gets Hudson to swing through one there.
Connor Nankis. Starts with a con and then ends with a kiss. Grounded over to the left side and taking on a couple hops, and Hunter Hudson's retired with ease.
It's the first time today that the Collegians have grounded out to the left side or even gotten an out on the left side of the field.
The lefty was able to get the left to work for him. And it's left on left here as Connor Kostecka strides in.
If there were accent marks in his name, there would be one on the T.
Which, is there a T in his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Connor Kostecka.
Yeah.
Kostecka. It's fun to say, man. You get stuck on the T. Like many golfers in the state of Colorado, they get stuck on the tee. You a good golfer? You are a good golfer, aren't you?
No.
Oh.
I play golf. That doesn't mean I'm good at it.
Means you're probably better than me. See, I do that thing that most baseball players do where I lift my left leg.
Oh, so do I.
Okay.
Don't worry. Well,
Yeah.
for me it's the right leg, but yeah.
I'm the Alfonso Soriano of golfers.
Me too. Don't worry.
0-2 and grounded over the right side. That'll get through for a single. Kostecka looking towards the bag for a hustle double, and we'll have it. So Kostecka makes a ground ball to the right side, turn into 180 feet in front of the RBI leader for the Boulder Collegians, Chris Jimenez. Though, the way Kelby Richardson's playing today, Kelby Richardson might be the RBI leader by the end of the day.
Yeah, Connor Kostecka there running about as far as my driver goes on the golf course. So
180 feet.
On a good day. So the problem is it only goes 180 feet on the fairway and then sprays left a lot.
A fastball, it's called a strike on Chris Jimenez.
I'm not from Boulder, and it surprised me just how few golf courses are in the city of Boulder.
It's a massive waste of water. That's why. 0-1, and that's called a strike. It's 0-2. It's also a massive waste of land considering how little land the city of Boulder actually has for development that's not open space or already developed because there is a height restriction on buildings in Boulder for those of you uninitiated. 0-2, and Jimenez watches that in the dirt. It's 1-2. Speaking of Boulder local laws, we actually have the district attorney here today, and he threw out the first pitch.
Yeah. Is there even a public golf course in Boulder? Because I know there's the Boulder Country Club. Is that the only one?
There's Flatirons Golf Course, which is, I think, right outside of Boulder. Kostecka steals third base with ease, and Jimenez lines it right back to where Kostecka was, and he'll have himself an RBI single.
I see him. I'll go grab him.
Now batting with the Collegians, the first baseman, number 25, Turner Davis. Your attention now, pitch running for the catcher, number 10, Jimmy Hollinger.
So Jimmy Hollinger, the courtesy runner for Chris Jimenez, as Turner Davis strides up to the plate. Davis with 2 hits on the day already. Ethan was. And Davis fouls it off to the right side. Oh, 0-1 on Turner Davis. And sprayed to the left side, and just a bit foul. Davis had his mind on a triple, which is rare considering the size of Turner and how lack of fleet of foot he is. He's more of a pop or bop kind of guy, you know what I mean. And that ball misses high. So it's 1-2 on Turner Davis. Collegians ahead 8-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Get 2 runs and 3 outs, and the Collegians win this ball game. Hollinger takes off at first. Davis again towards the left side and just a bit foul. So Hollinger likes that lead, and with Mark Goodman out at third base, he's got his watch out and timing the length it takes for the pitcher, the left-hander, to deliver to the base. And that misses a little bit wide. So 2-2 on Connor Natkiss. Turner Davis, the batter. The lefty checks the runner, Hollinger at first. The pitch, it's a curveball that misses a bit inside. I'm sorry, there was 3 balls. Our scoreboard was a little bit behind, and Turner Davis will take a walk.
That puts that 10-run lead runner on first base now.
And it also nearly guarantees that Kelby Richardson's going to get another at-bat, which, given the fact that he has 2 home runs and 2 at-bats, that's the guy you want to come up to the plate. That's the one we're all looking for at this point.
Nick Arrivo's going to, at the very least, not have to ground into a double play here in order to get Richardson to the bat.
So Arrivo with runners on first and second. He's sacrificed and been retired on a line drive to the shortstop. Watches a first pitch ball from Natkiss. The right-handed batter, Arrivo, with Richardson, the right-handed batter, on deck. Davis on first, Hollinger on second. The 1-0 from Natkiss. And it's sprayed over to the left side, taken care of by the third baseman. Steps on third for 1, on to first, not in time. Ball will get out of play, and again the Collegians advance on a ball that spits out of play. So that will bring up Kelby Richardson. Mentioning, I thought we had the announcer's curse right there, Ethan Jordan.
Yeah, I was a little worried. I was going to take blame. Don't worry. That would have been on me. But Nick, with the good speed, able to beat it out. Not a bad idea for Schultz to go to third there. He's kind of in that no man's land. Do I go to third? Do I try and go into second? I'm right in between the two. Ultimately chooses third base in order to at least retire the lead runner.
So first time facing Natkiss for Kelby Richardson. 2 home runs on the day. Watches a curveball for strike 1. He's got 5 RBI. First one was a 3-run shot. Second one was a 2-run shot. Happened in the first and third innings, and that misses inside on Kelby.
Yeah, that strike was the first strike Kelby Richardson has seen today. He's taken ball 1 in his first 2 at-bats and then gone yard.
Richardson swinging hard on a pitch that gets in the dirt. Saw a pitch that hit the dirt like that a little bit earlier today, if you know what I mean. So 2 strikes on Richardson. And it buckles him, and he'll be retired for strike 3. We go to the top of the 5th. Collegians leading 8-0 over the Colorado Sox. So back in Boulder, Colorado, beautiful Boulder, Colorado, on a warm, sunny Saturday. Hosting the Grateful Dead today, Boulder is. We're hosting the Boulder Collegians and Colorado Sox. He's Ethan Jordan. I'm Jake Shapiro. We're joined by Boulder District Attorney Michael Darby. Just go by Mike, right?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Cool. Mike, you enjoying the ball game so far?
It's a great game. Beautiful night here in Boulder, and the Collegians are a strong team, and it's really fun being out at Scott Carpenter Park. It's really amazing, actually.
Is this your first Collegians game?
This is the first Collegians game for our family.
Awesome. Yeah, you said you've got your kids here. They both participate in North Boulder Little League, as we'll see a leadoff single by the Colorado Sox. And the connections between North Boulder Little League and the Boulder Collegians are plentiful. We've gone over them a lot of times on this broadcast.
Right.
But when did you guys get into baseball as a family? Have you always liked baseball, Mike?
So I have, yes. I played Little League growing up, and now our twins, Phelan and Kara, who are 11 years old, play Little League for North Boulder Little League, as you mentioned. They're on the same team, and this summer they're playing for the Mud Hens, and it's been a great summer.
Well, holy Toledo. So Cox's single, and then followed up by Paschke's hit down the right field line, ranging over there, not able to make the play is Kelby Richardson. On to second is Paschke, striding into third base and now rounding third, but being held there is Cox as the Collegians overthrow it coming into the infield. So second real jam for Jackson Hewlett of the ball game.
Yeah, ball thrown around a little bit. Not every day you see the left fielder, Nick Arrivo, come in to be the backup on a play, but save some more. Maybe saved a run there.
Brings up Schultz. He's singled and flown out to the center fielder thus far. Nothing going on in the Collegians bullpen. Jackson's pitch count isn't that high up quite yet, as he leans over and gets ready for this pitch against Schultz. How long have you been in Boulder, Mike?
We've been here since 2009. My wife and I, with the twins, moved out from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. And when did you get into law?
So I went to Boston University Law School in 1997 and then went to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office and spent the first 12 years of my career there.
Well, I'm sure the crimes in Manhattan are a lot different than that of Boulder.
It's a much different world, but I feel extremely fortunate to be out here, especially on a night like tonight in beautiful Boulder.
So does Brooklyn make you a Mets or a Yankees fan? This is a key question.
So I was a Yankees fan all growing up, but I've successfully adopted the Rockies after moving to Colorado.
Okay. Well, there were a lot of tough years there, but I guess 2009 when you first moved here, that was a great year for the Rockies.
Right.
So that's
a little better one for the Yankees, though.
Right. True.
Yeah, your newly adopted team makes the playoffs. Your old team wins the World Series. Can't argue with that.
No, it was a great transition between the Rockies and the Nuggets. They made it easy to become a Coloradan in sports as well.
Of course, the Nuggets made it to the Western Conference Finals that year.
Yes, it helped that the Nuggets also parted with the one player in the NBA who I didn't like, Carmelo Anthony, and he went to the Knicks. So I was able to move on from the Knicks as well.
That certainly helps that.
So we've got Mark Goodman on the mound. No pitching change quite yet. I do want to take this opportunity to ask Mike, with all the challenges in Boulder, Colorado of getting organizations to succeed, you have a really sound one right here in the Boulder Collegians that's existed for a couple of years. How do you think organizations can become legitimized and professionally run, like, say, a Boulder Collegians?
Well, Boulder's a special community, and we have 300,000 people living here in the county, and I think part of it is just partnering up with other organizations, like the DA's office and the Boulder Collegians coming together tonight, and us making sure that we get the word out to people in the community about the many special things that are going on throughout Boulder on any given day.
No doubt. I mean, this is my hometown. I moved here in 2008, and I love it. And a lot of people, I don't think anyone would confuse this for a sleepy town. I'll put it that way. There's a lot going on here as this pitch is in on Schultz.
Well, I completely agree. When you think about the level of baseball being played here tonight, and within a mile of this field is the Dead & Company performance going on, there's very few nights, if any, that Boulder's a quiet town.
Yeah, I mean, I had to bite the bullet between the two. I didn't know which one I was going to choose tonight, see my beloved Collegians play, or go hang out with my parents because they're Deadheads. I think a lot of people my age have that problem. Go to the Dead concert with their parents, or do something else. Most of my friends chose the Dead concert, which is pretty fun. 1-1 from Jackson on Walsh. Grounded over to the right side. That should be taken care of by Cowart. On to second, and Kostecka will hold on to the bag, but that will end the shutout bid for the Collegians.
Next up for the Sox, the center fielder, number 17.
So it'll be first and third with Garner at the plate.
Big spot for Gardner. Hasn't had any success against Hewlett thus far out of that cleanup role, but has a chance to make this a bit of a ball game here in Boulder. Should he be able to find a gap somewhere?
Hit over to the left side, and Kix Farrell not able to handle that. Another tough play for Kix, not having the best day out there at third base, and that's run number 2 for the Sox.
Yeah, I wonder if something changed for Kix. He's been in that second base mentality all season after kind of shifting roles from a shortstop to a second baseman for the Collegians, and now gets thrown back at third base. And just it's a different angle. It comes at you a little quicker over there.
What positions do your kids play? Just all of them so far?
Pretty much all of them, although our son favors pitcher and first, and our daughter has been playing a lot of shortstop over the summer.
Oh, that's fun.
Can't argue that. Get the connection there.
And she's reminded me second base as well.
Turner Davis fields this one on to Kostecka at second. They'll get the runner that was a little further up on the base paths for out number 2. I see my whole problem, guys, when I played second base is I loved playing shortstop so much that, you know, when you're playing shortstop, you got to rush the throw over to first base, and then you play second base, you have so much time. I always got scared, and I threw the ball into the dugout. Tells you how bad of a baseball player I was.
Now that's a challenge. Kara, do you want to weigh in on that? Are you sure? All right. Well, as a former third baseman, I can relate to it.
A little microphone shy over there. That's okay. Popped up and up the elevator shaft. This should get out of play. So 2 fielders' choices in the same inning.
So, Mike, what's it like being a DA in a college town? How does that change from when you were working in Brooklyn? Does that make a difference in your daily job?
It does. We actually have a really close working relationship with CU to make sure that we're connecting with students on campus and that they feel safe here and that the kinds of things they're exposed to, whether it's drugs or sex assault, that we're having a presence on campus along with the local police agencies. And CU has its own police department, as you may know. So they have the CU Police Department responding to incidents on campus. And because it's a college town, we see a certain amount of things coming out of the college, but from the strong working relationship we have, we're also able to raise awareness about different things kids can do to protect themselves and protect their friends. So that's been really terrific. In fact, this past semester, we had a Don't Ignore It campaign with CU where the police chief, me, student leaders, athletes on campus all talked on video, and it was promoted at different games.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I actually saw one of those at a basketball game. 0-2 pitch from Jackson right back at his feet. Make you dance. Unfortunately, no one able to make the play up the middle, and that is the 3rd run for the Sox on just their 3rd hit of the inning.
And for Hessler, that's what you call right there a base hit. That was right up the middle. Nothing Hewlett could really do. That's one of those plays as a pitcher. If you grab it, you're probably a little bit lucky out there on the hill. That's a tough play to make.
So I don't think anything's going on in the Collegians bullpen. Ethan, do you have the angle?
There's somebody out there.
Okay. I know you could tell by the demeanor over there in the dugout that the coaching staff's getting a little bit anxious. The potential 6th run, which would get this to 2, is at the plate right now, and it's Schultz, who is struck out twice by Jackson Hewlett, so an opportunity to get out of the inning.
And I don't blame the coaches for being a bit on edge with these Sox. The Sox have had comeback victories against the Collegians already 3 times this season.
0-1 and not able to hold there is Schultz. So now looking for his 8th strikeout of the game, his first of the 5th inning, and a chance to get out of this 5th inning. Jackson's had a lot of struggles here in the 5th inning, has surrendered his only 3 runs of the ball game here. Comes set, checks the runner at second. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Jackson Hewlett gets the Collegians out of this 5th inning, which had been a disaster. So thank you to Mike Darby, the District Attorney of Boulder, Colorado, for joining us. We're going to try and see if the Collegians are able to tack on 5 in the bottom half of the 5th and get their run limit in order to move this game along. So thanks again, Mike, for joining us, and we'll see you back in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Definitely. Thank you.
Collegians up by 5. Bottom of the 5th inning. And the bottom of the 5th inning, as always, is brought to you by Sanitas Brewing's Everyday Mountain Lager. Chris Amador up to the plate for the Collegians. They need 5 more runs in order to run rule these Colorado Sox. And, well, that would be really something for the Collegians, as they have been unsuccessful against Colorado this year. Amador, Farrell, and Cowart in the inning. And the next offering to Amador is called strike 3. And for the second time in a row, Chris is punched out on strikes. So Amador retired, brings up Kix Farrell, no doubt looking to make up for that error he had in the last half of the inning. Kix has been on base once, an infield single for him last inning. Or excuse me, in the 3rd. And Kix takes a strike.
We did like round bases.
0-1 pitch.
We would do like
And tie for ball 1. This is the second time the Collegians have seen these Sox here at home. Seen them twice in Evelyn. 1-1 pitch.
yeah, I can't remember.
Just based on, get you out of some trouble.
How many states you can in 10 seconds?
2-1. Big swing and a miss there from Farrell. Count even at 2.
Collegians offense has cooled down a little bit. 5 in the first, none in the second, 2 in the third, and then 1 in the fourth. 2 of those big innings were bolstered by home runs, and most of it came.
Swing and a miss. Farrell down to first on the drop, 3rd strike.
And most of it came in the first inning, that big offensive performance. So the Collegians looking for another big offensive inning, and hopefully they can do so because of an error by the catcher that allowed Kix Farrell to reach first on the strikeout.
Any way you can get a guy on board, typically you want to make him pay for that error. That's what they'll look to do here. Cowart on the day is 0 for 2. Hit the ball hard in his last at-bat, but it was right back at the pitcher. Tisdall made the play when he was on the hill, grabbed it out of the air. Cowart, his first time seeing the new guy on the hill. And he'll take ball 1 from Connor Nankis.
Feel how tense I am? So good. Sorry, I was getting a massage here.
1-0. John Kea, our in-house masseuse, as Farrell swipes second base.
You know, that's the thing that sucks about not being a collegiate athlete. It's not that you get all the acclaim and you're good at sports and stuff. It's that you don't get free gear and you don't get free massages. That's the part of being a college athlete that I'd really enjoy. Nankis on the hill is 2-0. And a check swing not able to hold up was Logan Cowart. What's the thing about being a professional athlete that you would like most, Ethan?
I'm telling you, those buffets, man. They just lay out all the food. I've heard stories and seen the ASU buffet for the football players. Holy cow. I would not mind that, I'll tell you.
See, I don't like buffets.
I mean, when it's that kind of food, though, prepared by like a nutritionist and a chef, like, that's good food.
Yeah, the whole thing to me, though, is like, how long has that food been sitting out?
I suppose it depends on the program. That's why you got to go D1. It's more fresh.
That'll bring up Hunter Hudson, 1 for 3 on the day.
Like, I'm not talking Golden Corral buffet here. There's a big difference between that and what these D1 football players are eating.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Runners on first and second. Nankis working out of the stretch. Comes set, pitch, and Hunter Hudson with a pop-up towards the right side. Get out ball, and it gets out of play.
My uncle actually played football for a time up at Colorado State. Don't hold that against him.
I will.
But funny story from him. You know, they have all this food that they're feeding these athletes. Most of these guys are football players. They're trying to get bigger. But my uncle figured once he got recruited by CSU that he needed to get bigger before he showed up for camp. So he would eat, a box of pasta for a snack, that kind of diet. And he showed up, he was, 30, 40 pounds heavier, but he couldn't run anymore. Farrell's hung up between second and third, and Kix will sacrifice himself there to the third baseman, Cody Schultz. and he is retired on the base running mistake. But my uncle went up there. He was 40 pounds heavier, and part of the reason they recruited him, he's 6'6", 300 pounds, probably a little lighter at the time, and he could run for his size, and he couldn't run anymore, so they said, oh, we're taking this weight off, a little bit of it at least, and so he has all these guys around him eating steak, potatoes, whatever they want, and he's got a salad and some pills.
So he wasn't big, and he couldn't run. Sounds like a Colorado State football player to me. Now I believe you. Popped up on the infield for Hunter Hudson. Slams his bat. Didn't like that. And the second baseman, Walsh, will take care of it for the third out of the inning. We go to the top of the sixth. Collegians need 6 outs to end this one. It's 8-3. The boys in blue lead.
Your attention now, pitching for the Collegians. Number 16, Chris Rodriguez.
Chris Rodriguez on the mound for the Boulder Collegians, number 16. Maybe the hardest thrower on the team for the Boulder boys.
He's going to sit upper 80s with that fastball. Can reach back and get 90 should he need it, but usually about 87, 88 on the fastball.
So that finishes the day for Jackson Hewlett. Through 5 innings, struck out 8, allowed 3 runs. Only walked 1, I believe. And Martinez's fly ball to the left side. It's hauled in by Nick Arrivo.
Chris Rodriguez has been a starter of late, but coming out of the bullpen here against the Sox, he's done a really nice job the last 2 starts he's made, in which we saw him at the beginning of the year. He was great out of this windup, but once he allowed a runner on base, things totally fell apart. He's been pretty good his last couple of times on the mound, though. He's figured some things out.
Do you guys want to sit down?
No, thank you. This is working. Here to be quiet. My son was up here to keep pitching.
1-0 with 1 out. Martinez's pitch, it's a fastball that was blazing speed and fouled away.
Yeah, Chris with kind of that almost a short arm delivery.
How fast?
Kind of can make it seem like that fastball is coming even quicker than it actually is.
Yeah, and that one came in at 91. 1-1 misses wide. I knew when I saw that was exceptionally hard.
Yeah, he pitched the other day against the Rough Riders. got tagged up a little bit towards the end of the game, but he was pitching pretty well in that one, at least through the first few innings.
Fouled back, and it's 2-2.
He was sitting about 88 in that game, so maybe out of the bullpen, a little extra velo able to add, as he doesn't have to have the length that he did in his starting performance.
2-2, and just misses a little bit wide. This is the first of a doubleheader for the Collegians, not the Sox. Collegians will have the game day Saints next on this field.
A makeup game for yesterday's second game that got rained out.
3-2. And right back up the middle, Martinez has to duck down or else the line drive was going to catch him in the Kepi. And Cox gets first on the single. How many broadcasters are using Yiddish, Ethan?
Well, not many that aren't, in a part of the world that speaks in Yiddish, like Israel. Do they speak
no.
Yiddish? No, okay, that was ignorant of me.
Yes.
What is the official language of Israel?
Hebrew.
Hebrew? Oh, that makes sense.
That's actually a very controversial thing in Jewish culture.
Is it?
Yes. Hebrew was a dead language. They resurrected it when they founded Israel in 1947. Most Jews at the time actually spoke Yiddish. So that's why I know Yiddish, because my grandmother speaks some Yiddish, because her mother was fluent. I think I'm going to be the last generation that has any sort of Yiddish in him. Just break out a couple words every once in a while. Of course, tukus is probably the best Yiddish word. You know what that means, right, Ethan?
No.
But. Tukus.
I had a feeling, but I wasn't sure.
Ooh. That doesn't feel good. As the foul ball hits the umpire in the Kepi.
I think it's the umpire now.
Yeah, same umpiring crew, I believe, as yesterday. Looks that way. Fellas back out to do the two games today. Yeah, the ump behind the plate yesterday came back onto the field after the deluge we sat through, and someone from the crowd asked him, we starting up again? He just gave him a look and said, no, and then grabbed his water bottle and walked out of the field. It was a lighthearted no, but it was pretty funny at the time.
And Martinez gets a strikeout here for out number 2.
It was almost a shake your head no, because the field was flooded. I mean, it was a lake out here in Scott Carpenter Pond.
The only natural lake in Boulder. We have lots of fit bodies, but not many bodies of water. Martinez fastball, strike 1. Collegians 4 outs away from a victory over these Sox. It's not always easy to take down these Sox. Sometimes they need help. They've gotten it today via some good offense. 0-2, Martinez is up on Schultz. Looking for his second straight strikeout. 0-2, the runner on first is Cox. Collegians ahead by 5. The pitch. Curveball, ground to the left side. Kicks Farrell, can't get to that one. Neither can Connor Kostecka, and it's a single that'll move up the base runner to third base, and now an error attached to that as well, and the runner headed for the plate. Martinez on the tag. Got him! Jimenez had to go chase that ball down, threw it back to Martinez, who somehow was in right position, even though he was backing up third base, sprinted down the line, the third base line, towards home base, and got Cox out on the tag. Don't know why Cox was running up or trailing by 5 runs, but nevertheless, the Collegians get out of the 6th inning. We go to the bottom half. Collegians ahead, 8-3. First pitch of the inning, it's sprayed to the right side, and that'll be a single to lead off for the Collegians by Connor Kostecka. I'll bring up Jimenez to the plate as Collegians are trying to get Nankiss out of this ball game. They've had some trouble with him. Jimenez on the day with 2 singles and a fly out to right field as the lights come on at Scott Carpenter Park. You hear the buzzing. Sun still has not set yet in Boulder, Colorado. Won't do so for about another hour, actually, but there are a lot of clouds in the area. Not crowds, Lemmy from Motorhead. Over to first base, and back in time is Connor Kostecka. If anyone got that reference, applause to you. Pitch is high on Chris Jimenez. It's easier to throw it high on Chris Jimenez than it is low. It's because he's short. And I can say that because I'm short. Lefties 2-0, and that catches the outside part of the plate. Jimenez not happy because he couldn't have done anything with that. If it was going to be a strike, he says to himself, why not be a strike that I could hit? Hitters always so selfish. 2-1, and swung through and missed by Jimenez. It's 2-2. Turner Davis on deck, then Nick Arrivo. 2-2 from Nankiss. And over to the left side, that's through. Shortstop couldn't handle that ball, Paschke. And on to third base, rounding third and stopping is Connor Kostecka. It's first and third with no outs for the Collegians on back-to-back singles to start the 6th.
First baseman Turner Davis.
Jimmy Hollinger will pinch run once again. Nope, that's not Jimmy Hollinger this time. Who is that?
Nick Hall.
Oh, there you go. Nick Hall. Not the best slider on the team, we found out yesterday. I thought Nick Hall might be, but not anymore. Quinn? Quinn's the best slider on the team.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Reference the thing you saw yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I thought you meant that Nick Hall was the one who did the slide. I was like, no, it wasn't him.
We found out he wasn't because someone else was.
No, Quinn Cook, if you saw it on our Twitter, we talked about Scott Carpenter Pond here. Quinn decided to take an adventure and slid headfirst into second base.
Tried to skim himself like a rock across Scott Carpenter Pond.
Keep in mind the Collegians were wearing their white jerseys yesterday.
And Hall takes off for second. Runner takes off for home. Hall's in at second, and Kostecka on the double steal gets home. Error will move Hall up to third base. So scored a double steal and an E2.
The Collegians, since this is one of their last home games of the year, they'll have one after this and then 2 more against the Sterling Express after their trip to Kansas. They had their white jerseys. They turned them in today. And I want to see if I can find Quinn Cooks and have a look at that thing, because there's no way he actually got it all the way clean. It just didn't happen.
It definitely Quinn Cooks a little different. 3-0. And I called strike. Turner Davis on the day with a walk, a single, and another single. Yet to be retired. Power hitting first baseman and catcher fouls this back.
Nearly got over the top of the screen. You got to watch out down there. Pretty good crowd here on this Saturday evening. Not everybody's at the Deadhead concert.
It's not a Deadhead concert. It's a Dead and Company concert, Ethan.
It's a Deadhead concert. The main event is the Deadheads in the stands.
The main event for me is John Mayer. Over to the right side, Davis with this pop-up. Tough play, and that falls in fair. Saw one of those for the Sox earlier today. Collegians now take advantage of it themselves, and they're just 3 runs away from taking this before they need to get those 3 outs.
On the matter of the Deadheads, though, it seems to me Jimmy Buffett and the Grateful Dead, or the Dead and Company, either one, they seem to be the 2 bands that when there's a concert for them, it's more about the people in the crowd, the Deadheads or the Parrotheads, almost than it is about the people on the stage. All kinds of things
Sorry
going
you
on.
feel that way.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's a lively atmosphere. Let's put it that way, at least for Jimmy Buffett.
Arrivo grounds it through the hole on the left side, and now stepping to the plate will be not Nick Arrivo or Kelby Richardson with a chance to walk this off, but Jimmy Hollinger pinch hitting in his place. So that sucks.
Pinch hitting for the
What's that?
Collegians.
That Kelby Richardson's not going to have a chance at his third home run and walk off.
Yeah, well, Jimmy will get his first at-bat here. He's been swinging it well of late.
Hopefully he'll be able to do the trick.
He did hit his first home run of the year yesterday, so maybe Act 2 coming here.
Hollinger sends this into right center field. Coming in the center fielder for the Sox, Garner. He'll make a one-handed grab, and that's out number 1 in the 6th inning. So one pitch out, and that'll bring up Chris Amador.
Center fielder, number 1, Chris Amador.
Chris on the day. He's had a tough one. Struck out twice and flown out once. And forget about all of that if he can move these runners around and get himself on base as that winning run.
And that's back to the backstop, a wild pitch to start the at-bat. It gets stuck in the screen. Don't know if I've seen that here, actually.
Mesh screen, there's always the possibility. A little harder to do with the metal fencing, though it has happened.
And sent into center field again. Garner's going to get under this one. Davis tagging from third base. He'll get there easily. Bad throw is going to let Arrivo move up as well. So sacrifice fly out to the center fielder, and Kix Farrell comes up as the winning run. So we'll catch up with Kelby Richardson after the game, unless Kix pulls a magic act here. And Nankis still on the hill. It's his first 3 runs surrendered. They've all come this inning. 5 in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and now 3 in the 6th for the Collegians. They've got 14 hits on the ball game. They've made the most of them. Called strike, and it's 0-2 on Kix Farrell. One, two. Nankis trying to get out of the inning with 2 outs, and it's a curveball that emergency swung by Kix Farrell and fouled away. One, two with 2 outs. And Kix can't hold up. Will kicks it over to the 7th inning. 3 outs away from a Collegians win. We'll see if they can grab it. 11-3, the boys in blue lead, and
As Chris Rodriguez
heads back the hill. Yes, thank you. I got lost there for a second. We'll be back in a second. Rodriguez on the hill for the Collegians, 3 outs away from a Boulder victory. Walsh, the batter for the Colorado Sox. Collegians looking to give themselves a full game lead on the the Game Day Saints before they start their game against the Game Day Saints, which will be in just a few minutes. Pop up to the right side, that should get out of play, foul.
Yeah, Rodriguez on for his second inning here. Going to try and get these last 3. But for Boulder, these would be 2 big wins. These guys, the Sox sit ahead of them in the standings in first place. They're a half game up on the Saints now after yesterday. So positioning themselves before the end of the season in league play. That Saints game, is ball 1 offered there, is actually going to be the Collegians' last league game of the year. So they'll go to Kansas, then play 2 games against the Rough Riders, and all of a sudden, it's playoff time.
Or the Express, but
yes.
yes.
Yes, sorry,
yeah.
the Express.
And Collegians actually have a lot more games played than most of the teams in the league.
Right. That's the thing, is a lot of these teams, the Saints and Sox among them, the standings are not set by any stretch of the imagination after today.
So strike 3 called. Martinez gets out number 1 in the 7th. Or Rodriguez, I'm sorry. You keep confusing me with your hand gestures over there, Ethan. And it's not my own ineptness. I got to blame you. But yes, Rodriguez with out number 1. It's his second strikeout of the game. He came in to start the 6th and starts this with a ball to Garner.
So as I was saying, the league standings will not be set after tonight. The Collegians will have finished their league play, but a lot of teams with a lot of games left to play in the league. And so things could fluctuate between now and July 19th when the league tournament starts.
Behind 2-0 here, but Martinez's fastball, gun tells me that though it missed inside and almost tagged the batter there, that it was 94 miles an hour.
Yeah, he is humming on the mound right now.
And a walk surrendered. So lack of control, a bit of an issue.
First baseman.
4-pitch walk, and that'll bring up Hessler. Fielder's choice, a strikeout and a ground out.
Wouldn't mind another little ground out right here. And this ball game with this batter here for Chris Rodriguez.
Rodriguez in the stretch and absolutely smoked that fastball again, and it's fouled back. Ahead 0-1. Looking in at his catcher Jimenez for the sign. He comes set and delivers. And he misses wide. We'll catch up with Kelby Richardson after we get these 3 outs on the Collegian side. Richardson hit 2 home runs, went 2 for 3 on the day with 5 RBI. Rodriguez behind 2-1. Two-one slap towards the right side. That is gone. No doubt about that for the batter Hessler, the first baseman for the Colorado Sox. It pulls them closer to a comeback. It's a 6-run deficit now on the 2-run shot. Went right above Jimmy Hollinger's head. No chance for Jimmy Hollinger to even do anything with that. Just watched it fly above, and now it's 11-5. Collegians still with the lead.
The catcher, Boyer Bates.
You hear Johnson? Johnson just screwed. Those runs don't mean anything. And first pitch fastball there for a strike. That's a good way to recover for Rodriguez. So Rodriguez looking for the Persuado save, and ahead 0-2 there. He's looking for his 3rd strikeout now. Struck out the first batter, then a walk, then the home run. 0-2. Right back up the middle. That ball was cranked as well. That'll fall in front of Chris Amador for a 1-out single. And now you may see the Collegians dugout start to scurry just a little bit. I mean, it's a 6-run lead with 1 out, but as Ethan said earlier in the broadcast, the Sox have come back 3 different times against the Collegians this year. Customized. Oh, the camera? Sony, I think? And that pitch is swung through and missed by Schultz. Schultz with 3 strikeouts on the day. The right fielder trying to get on the right side of anything today has not had that opportunity. It's 1-1 here. 1 out, 1 runner on first. He reached on a single. That's Oyeravides. And swinging and missing is Schultz, trying to avoid the platinum sombrero. Rodriguez comes set, fastball in the dirt. Jimenez can't handle it. That'll move up the runner 90 feet, but might as well be a defensive indifference as the Collegians do not care. Mark Goodman, the pitching coach, kind of getting anxious in the dugout a bit. Eddie Toledo looking down the line to see what the bullpen's up to. Don't want to burn another pitcher in a doubleheader. Rodriguez comes set, 2-2. Called strike 3. His 3rd punchy of the game, his 2nd of the inning, and the Collegians just 1 out away from gnawing at these Colorado Sox.
Designated hitter.
It's the 10th strikeout of the game. Nope, make that 11th strikeout of the game by Collegians pitching of the Sox. 2 of them have come of the looking variety. Ball 1 there by Rodriguez. So what a long, strange trip this game has been for the Boulder Collegians on a dead night in Boulder, Colorado. No friend of the devil needed. After the foul ball, Rodriguez back on the mound looking in at his catcher, Jimenez. Checks the runner on second, doesn't really matter, and sprayed into center field. Long run for Amador, and that's going to get above his head. So 1 run scores. Stopping at second is the batter, McIntosh, and it's a RBI double with 2 outs as the Sox were down to their last at bat.
Fielder, Cox.
The biggest offensive inning of the night for the Sox. That's the 3rd run to cross. They scored 3 in the 5th as well. So 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 7th. And Mark Goodman telling the bullpen to really start to heat it up. Bring up Cox. He's singled in each of his last 2 at-bats. Grounded out to the shortstop earlier on in the ballgame. The 9-hole hitter. Rodriguez, first pitch, a curveball called a strike. McIntosh on second. Cox, the batter, 0-1. Swung through and missed, and looking for his 3rd strikeout of the inning. Collegians just 1 strike away from the win. Rodriguez trying to hold down what was a wonderful start by Jackson Hollett. 0-2. In the dirt, Jimenez blocks it. Collegians with 14 hits in the ball game. 11 for the Sox. 3 errors but made by the Sox and 2 by the Collegians. 1-2. It's in the dirt again, and Jimenez has to shake that ball clean. So though he topped 94, he's not found a lot of strikes in this 7th inning. 1 strike away. The 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. Curveball slapped to the left side and not playable there for Kix Farrell. So we'll do 2-2 for a second time. First warm and pretty day with no rain Boulder has seen in weeks. Collegians hoping to put the cherry on top with a win. Just missed. So he's already walked 1 this inning. There was a home run, a single, and a double as well. 11-6 is the score. Collegians with that lead. 3-2. Strike 3 called. He gets his 3rd strikeout of the inning. Collegians get their win as the Sox go home losers 11-6. So though it was a tough 7th inning for Rodriguez, he's able to get out of it, and the Collegians are able to hang on behind those 2 Kelby Richardson home runs. Ethan Jordan down on the field right now. He'll catch up with Kelby Richardson in just moments. But let's go through the box score just a bit. Collegians with those 11 runs on 14 hits made 2 errors as a unit. Sox with 6 runs on 11 hits made 3 errors as a unit. Connor Kostecka had 3 hits for the Collegians, scored 3 times as well. Jimenez with 3 hits, and then Turner Davis with 3 hits as well. Chris Jimenez picked up 3 RBI. He was the 2nd biggest leading run producer for the Collegians. Jackson Hewlett went 5 innings strong of 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 8 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Meanwhile, on the Sox side, it was a tough start for Tisdall, and Nankis couldn't save him. We'll have Game 2 of this doubleheader in a second. It's going to be the Game Day Saints. And the man downstairs is Ethan Jordan, and he's going to catch up with Jackson Hewlett, the starting pitcher from today, just now.
Down here on the field with Jackson Hewlett, who started this game for the Collegians. And Jackson, these Sox have had your guys' number all year long. They're at the top of the league standings. What did it mean to get a win against them here today?
It was pretty good to finish out the season strong against them, so hopefully we can keep the momentum going into the future for us.
Yeah, you've had 2 big starts. Your last 2 starts for the Collegians, you had that almost shutout in Fort Collins, gave up 1 earned run, 9 innings pitched, you won a complete game, and had a good start here, gave your team a chance to win. What's it been like for you these last couple of days that have allowed you to have these starts?
It's just good to get my innings up. I'm getting comfortable out there, and I feel good. So,
All right, final league game of the season coming up here against the Saints. What's the mentality going in here to finish strong in league play?
We're hitting the ball well, we're pitching well, so we just gotta keep up the momentum pretty much, roll into the playoffs. So.
And then you guys are off to Kansas here in a couple of days. What are you looking forward to outside of baseball from that trip?
I've never been to Kansas before. Go to Dorothy's house probably. That'll be fun. So,
All right, that's Jackson Hewlett. Thank you so much, Jackson. Good luck in Game 2.
So that wraps up this one for the Boulder Collegians. They win 11-6 on 14 hits and 2 errors. Colorado Sox with 11 hits on their 6 runs. It's Jackson with the start. Kelby Richardson, the 2 home runs and 5 RBI for your Boulder Collegians. He's our player of the game. Jackson had 8 strikeouts. Stick around for Game 2. We'll be right back. It's the Game Day Saints against the Boulder Collegians in just a few moments. Thanks for joining us for Game 1. Again, Collegians win 11-6.